gonna sound crazy. He looked at the stars, he took a good look and was like, yeah, I'm God. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about William Whiston. Now, if you don't know who William Whiston is, he was basically a mathematician that gave false prophecies, and today we're going to be talking about that. But before we get into that, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, because these videos actually take a really long time to make, and you'd be doing me the biggest favor if you actually did do those things. But without further ado, let's cover the false prophecies of William Whiston. So, once upon a time, there was a man named William Whiston who loved reading and he loved learning about the stars, and he wanted to know what would happen in the future. So one day he got a big idea. He could tell when the world was gonna end. You can't make this up! I'm not kidding! I'm really not. I'm gonna sound crazy. He looked at the stars, he took a good look and was like, yeah, I'm God. He didn't say he was God, but only God can do something like that. But this dude's off. But William, William didn't keep his idea on the hooks. He didn't keep it quiet. He would go up to people and he would be like, hi. I know when the world's gonna end because I'm very smart. He told them that! I'm not joking. He would go up to them and be like, I know when the world is gonna end, not because because I'm very smart. I know when the world is gonna end because I'm very smart. That's what he would tell these people! And then this psychopath decides to pick a year. The year was 1736, and he basically just goes out and he just starts telling people, yeah, the world is gonna end. A big flood is gonna come. It's gonna wipe all of us out. We need to be prepared for when this does happen. What? And some people actually believed him. If someone comes up to you and they're like, the world is going to end, I am like somewhat a messenger of God. The world's gonna end. Yeah, don't just believe him, okay? It'd have to be Jesus Christ himself in order for me to believe him, okay? You can't really just go up to someone and be like, the world is gonna end, and just believe them. That's the most craziest thing ever. And so, listen, some of them actually believed William. Some of them actually went out of their way. They, sold their houses, because they're like, if the world is gonna end, why do I need my home? Some of them stopped working. Some of them just stopped contributing to society because this old scientist said the world was gonna end. Yo, you can't make this up. You cannot make this up. You can't make this up. People would literally stop contributing to society because this dude was like, the world's gonna end. Yo, oh my goodness, I'm getting a migraine from yelling too much. But, can you blame me? Really? Also, I might have some people correcting me in my comment sections being like, oh, it wasn't a flood, it was a comet. He predicted that the comet was gonna hit Earth and that a big flood was gonna emerge from that comet. Oh, man. Brush your teeth, man. It ain't worth it. But brush your teeth. You deserve to have a nice, healthy set of chompers on you, okay? Brush your teeth. And, some people that actually use their brains said, oh, this man can't comprehend whether or not the world is going to end. Only God can do that. So, yeah, they just went back to what they were doing. It was crazy. And a lot of people are going to be like, well, what does this have to do with Christianity or Christian history in general? William believed that, biblical events like the Noah's Great Flood would cause supernatural phenomenons like comets. So, yeah, it was greatly inspired by what he was doing. And then get this, the king hears that William is causing a commotion, and, he's the king, so he's like, whoa. He's like, okay, this isn't good, because this dude is stirring up commotion, and he's making my people very panicky, and he's making them very anxious and scared and fearful, and plus some of them are literally not contributing to society. You gotta think, he had to do something about this because people literally stopped contributing to society because a guy was saying the world was gonna end. Which, when you're a king and you're the leader of an entire kingdom or town or something like that, and people just stop contributing, it causes problems for the king because he has to be the representative of all of that. So I'm pretty sure how you can guess how he felt. And as the beautiful day approached, and people were like, oh, the world is gonna end. Some people started packing their stuff. A lot of people prayed. A lot of people just sat with William waiting for the day to come. It was crazy. These people, okay, listen, I guess some of you are probably going to be on my case being like, oh, well, this was in 1736. They didn't really have a big concept of worldly events and they didn't really know half of the stuff that was going on. Still, if a guy comes up to you and he says the world is gonna end. The world is going to end. If a guy comes up to you and he's like, the world is gonna end, that man better be Jesus, because there's no way I'm believing him. And, what would you know? A flood happened. No, I'm just playing. I'm just joking. And what would you know? Nothing happened. Absolutely nothing happened. They looked at William and they were like, hey, where's the flood at, dude? Where's the flood? There is no flood. You believed a man that had no... oh my goodness, my brain. And you gotta think, the people... Oh, bruh. They got so mad at William. Some of them ran up to William and they were like, we don't like you. Or, bro, they were so angry at him. Some of the people were like, we sold our homes because we thought the world was ending. A lot of them were scared for no reason. And a lot of them were like, we packed up and we were about to move to a different kingdom because you, And you gotta think, because William did this, they had nothing. Like, they had, believed that William was actually telling the truth. Which is very dumb, because if someone comes up to you and they're like, the world is gonna end, bro, you better be my God. You better be Jesus Christ if you're actually telling me the world is gonna end. Because if someone goes up to you and they're like, the world is gonna end, don't believe them, okay? Don't believe them, because they don't know what they're talking about. If someone comes up to you and they're like, the world is gonna end, you better be Jesus, because there's no way I'm believing you. And you know what? Actually, it's bad on your part for being gullible to believe this psychopath. It's bad on your part because you're gullible enough to believe some mathematician coming up to you, looking at the stars, and then being like, the world is gonna end. And some people, bless their heart, but some people were like, oh, maybe William is still right. Maybe the world is actually going to end. And how it's crazy because maybe William is right. William was not right. Well, if William wasn't right the first time, what makes you think he's gonna be right the second time? Huh? You think this man is God? He's a mathematician that doesn't shower. These people. And then, word gets to the king. The king doesn't like this, so he's like, okay, we need to do something about this dude. And some of the king's advisors were like, we should punish him so he stops spreading lies. And then William was like, okay, I know, never mind. I got the dates wrong. Let me go back and I'm going to find out when the world actually does end. And he studied, he did math, and he read. Like that was going to do anything. Oh my goodness, what was this dude on? He really thought that reading, doing math, and studying was gonna do anything. It gave him nothing on the cosmic understanding of the universe. He just looked at the stars one day and was like, I know when the world is gonna end. Okay, I'm not a mathematician. I'm not a cosmic studier of any type of kind. But how do you look at the stars and go, I know when the world is gonna end just from looking at the stars? Did you look at the Big Dipper and was like, yeah, a meteor's gonna hit Earth? Oh man, look, it's Orion's belt. We're gonna get slain by a meteor 12 years from now. Like, how do you look at stars and then from that come the world is gonna end? What were these people on? What? And now people start mocking William because they think he's just a lying, blaspheming weirdo that just likes telling people that the world is gonna end. So they're looking at him and they're like, the world's gonna end. Should we hide under our beds again? They were just mocking him, and rightfully so. This dude was a moron. And many people are just now realizing that what William was saying was not actually true, and he was just going off of what he studied or what he believed. And a lot of people were like, oh, okay, we're not gonna follow someone who's gonna constantly trick us and just use them for their own self-pleasure or whatever. And you gotta think, before William had came out publicly being the world was gonna end, he had a pretty strong reputation. People actually liked William and they thought he was a smart man. But now, after that, the people think he's a loony. People think he's a crazy person that always thought the world was gonna end. So they'd be walking past William and they'd look at him and be like, you thought the world was gonna end. I'm not a mathematician, and I can't even get what? I can't even guess that. Why am I stuttering so much? But oh man, William. you're not a fan if you don't know William. He said, I know this is not the end. I know the world is going to end, as he wiggled his finger in rage. I know when the world will end. And I'm going to continue to preach this message because that's what I need to do. Because the world is going to end. Oh, I waved my finger in rage. And this time people, a fewer people started listening to him because they thought that, oh man, maybe this time he's telling the truth, which it was crazy. William has a reputation of telling false prophecies, so I don't know why they would believe him. And then the king was like, okay, if he keeps spreading lies, he will be punished, okay? And make sure he knows that. And a lot of people at this time were like so tired of William, they thought he was just a loony who loved spreading false prophecies. And then as they tried to keep William quiet, William shouted to the top of his lungs, I will not be silenced. And people will know the truth, even though he had been wrong, a bunch of times in the past of, predicting that a comet was going to hit Earth and that a big flood was going to emerge from it. And then the king was like, William, if you don't stop doing what you're doing, you're going to be punished. But William kept holding, press conferences, and he kept holding, speeches, and he kept trying to preach to everybody that he was right. And it slowly went from people feeling it slowly went from people hating William to feeling bad for him. Instead of people mocking him in the streets, they'd avoid him, and they're like, oh, poor boy, bless his heart, poor man, he can't let it go that the world isn't ending. And then William just becomes the butt of the joke in every scenario. If someone sounded crazy or loony in any type of way, they're gonna be like, oh man, you sound like William Whiston. You sound like William Whiston. And it was just, he became the butt of the joke, which, this dude is so weird. And then one last time, William gets up and he's like, the world is gonna end. And then guards jump him, put him in prison, and then William starts doubting himself, being like, oh, well, was I wrong? Did I make a mistake? What do you think, Willie? And then one last time, here's how it went down. The guard, or why am I doing air quotations, whatever. The guards let William go, and then William gives one last speech, and instead of people listening to him, they laughed at him, and then William got down, and literally, I'm not joking you, every single time William tried talking to someone, they just ignored him. They were like, go away, we don't want you here. And from that day on, William just gave up. He spent the rest of his days in silence. He couldn't communicate to anybody because no one would talk to him because everybody thought he was a loony. And yeah, that's the end of William Whiston. Oh yeah, his name just faded into history. New ideas spread, new ideas of fame, canon, whatever. It just happened, and no one really cared about William Whiston anymore. Yeah, but that was the video. That was me ranting about William Whiston for I don't know how long this video is gonna be. I don't know. It felt like an hour. Probably it's not gonna be an hour. It's probably gonna be 15 minutes. But yeah, that was it. That was it. But yeah, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe because these videos actually make a really long time to make, and you'd be doing me an amazing favor if you actually did do those things. But thank you. But yeah, I feel like that's it. I thank you, I love you, and God bless.